So I got a question a few months ago about whether or not you should lose weight if you are wanting to do calisthenics or if you want to get better at it. So I thought that'd be an interesting thing to discuss with you all today because I have a little bit of experience with cutting and losing weight. And if you're wondering who I'm looking at, it's Charlie. He's licking himself, and I think I'm going to be doing this video from the floor because it feels like one of those days. So let me give you some thoughts on whether or not you should lose weight if you want to be better at calisthenics skills. So I know this seems like a very obvious answer, but there's a lot more to it than just yes or no. And anyone that tells you like, yes, you just get as skinny as possible, it'll make you the best, that's not necessarily true. In my opinion, they're wrong. So it's all about relative strength. And obviously, the more you weigh, the stronger you have to be to that weight. But it's not as clear-cut as you get thinner and you get stronger. There are things that actually make you weaker as you get thinner. I'm just gonna share what my experience has been like with cutting and losing weight and how it's affected my skills, because that's the only thing I could speak on. Everyone's different, so just giving out a simple do this, do that is not helpful. So my experience, every year in the summertime, I try and lose weight. Well, that's not true. Every year in the springtime, I try and cut weight. And that's just because I like to gain weight in the winter and lose weight for the summer. It just kind of feels fun. Gives me an experience to be at a higher weight and a lower weight. That's something that you should do if you want to see if you're stronger at one of those weights, or if you feel like you might be stronger if you're thinner. Occasionally switch up if you're in a caloric surplus or in a caloric deficit. Every spring, I am in a caloric deficit. Around April, I like to just try and cut down on body fat for a few months. And to be fair, that's typically when I am the strongest, is during the springtime when I've cut some weight. But it's also the time that I'm usually making the least progress, like afterwards. And it's also the time that I always get injured, is in the summertime. And this is something that Tom actually mentioned. He attributed to his recent injuries when I was talking to him. He said,
but actually I realized that these two injuries came down, I think, in part just to not eating enough. I've been pretty busy and I just haven't been too focused on how much I've been eating.
And it got me thinking about all my injuries all happening when I was at my leanest. So if you get injured and it stops you from working out, stops your progression, like, isn't that much less efficient than, yeah. But these past few months, I have been gaining weight and I've been keeping my strength. I've gained about 7 or 8 pounds since I was at my leanest, I think in like June or July. And I've literally just been eating an extra meal every day since maybe July or August. So the interesting bit for you guys is that I don't think my relative strength has changed that much. So specifically my number one goal, the front lever pull-up, if I look at when I was at my lightest and trying it, compared to like a week or two ago when I'm pushing almost 180, the form and everything, my strength actually looks just about the same. It doesn't look like I've gotten any weaker because I'm heavier. So the takeaway from this is that you won't necessarily be stronger if you're lighter. Yes, you should be relatively stronger if you have the same amount of muscle when you're lighter, but you'll usually gain muscle when you gain weight, if that makes sense. And you'll also usually lose muscle when you lose weight. I would suggest playing around with different weights. Try and cut weight, see if it helps out. Try and gain weight, see if it helps out. Especially for people like myself that are usually on the skinnier side or have a hard time gaining weight. I would say try and put on some weight, maybe add an extra meal like I did, and see if it helps you out, or see if if you don't lose any relative strength. Maybe it's a beneficial thing. And then guess what? When you go to cut, whenever you want to cut down on your calories, you'll have more muscle kind of packed onto you. And then you'll just be losing mostly fat, a little bit of muscle. And then your relative strength will probably be significantly higher. As you know. Okay, that's the video. Weird video today. I'm gonna try and answer your guys' questions more with these shorter videos. I hope this is helpful for you. And I guess this is what I'm doing now on YouTube. Okay, bye.